And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Four down.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll run it with Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
First down, Mariota. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
2nd down, Mariota. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Off the play fake, Mariota rolling to his left. It's caught, Jones. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Ito Smith, his first carry. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Ortiz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Ryan. He's got Evans. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now Ryan throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now it's Ryan. Steps away to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Set. Blue 18. One.
Out of his end zone, Mariota. And this is Moncrief for the catch. And they work this out past the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. The give is to Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A give to Jones. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota out to his left. Going deep for Moncrief. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
They go play action. Mariota. A dump underneath to Jones. And now running right through it. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Mariota. Being chased out left. And he's got room. 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Jones. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. He can't get him down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third and long here for Mariota. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run now with Burkhead. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. Evans has it left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. The 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big run there by Jones. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mariota now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Mariota. This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Ryan. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is brought in at the 21. Oh, he shifts past him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Mariota. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. A very solid gain of 27. Well, you think he loved the protection he had there all kinds of time.
And you're so right. How could you not love that? Great protection. The big guys up front, really locked in on it. No one gets near the quarterback. He's got all the time in the world to survey the field and deliver for a first down.
And the big boys up front, a big reason why they're also winning, too. Flush to his right. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Mariota dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Mariota. Moncrief brings it in. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. To the air again, Mariota. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Conley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Santos now to add the PAT. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Ryan to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. Ryan forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because We often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan escaping the pressure right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Fielded at the 20. Dances by him. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, look, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Play fake. Mariota completes it to Moncrief, left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Mariota trying to lay one up deep. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Burkhead. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Mariota now. Buying time to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. To return it is Corey Grant. Shifts by him.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Now Jones. Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I thought going into the 2018 draft, running back was a priority for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got one of the best ones in the draft, and Ronald Jones II out of USC. He's a guy who knows how to make people miss, but also not afraid to lower his shoulder and make his own way.
And that's what we saw there as he powered his way forward for the first. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Second down, Mariota. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jared Cook, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan steps away to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now the point after try for Santos. Santos with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Airing this one out for Evans. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Hey. Ready.
On third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. The 30, past the 20, touchdown Falcons. Julio Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. There he goes, right side. And it's a Buccaneers touchdown. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Alert! 3 down! 280! We go! There you go!
Here's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Three down. Hey, fellas.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. Rex Burkhead, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Mariota on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Finding some room at midfield. And avoids the contact by sliding. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. On 3rd down, Mariota. And this one is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. 23 yards on the play. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now Ryan on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable third down, 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big play on third down for the Falcons. And even 40 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
20.
Here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now Ryan. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They'll try and pound it in with Burkhead. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Rex Burkhead with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Now the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Here's Jones. And some room to work. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Jones. Open space inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Mariota here to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mariota to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Back to throw. Flush to his right. Shrugs it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bucs, it will wind up a 500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's been a sinking ship all season as they finally draw the curtain on what will be a 1-15 year. And you have to figure that this is a team that will look a whole lot different come training camp next July. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.